Good afternoon, participants. So now we'll start the session. So this session is on essentials of Python for deep learning. So all of you can note down these commands and run it right now. So conda create minus n for name. This is the name of the environment. Now before that, if you write conda info environment, it will tell how many environments are already there and how to activate that particular environment. Let's say you are working with TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch. So you want to activate, you want to use TensorFlow, then you can use conda activate TensorFlow. In our case, we are working with the PyTorch, so we are giving here the this name. Complete the command. Just or you can copy paste from your Google Classroom. So you should not have the multiple versions of Anaconda. It may create the path problem. It may create the conflict to the environment. So you must have only one Anaconda and one Visual Studio Code. दो वर्शन दिन लोगे go to the control panel and see the add or change the environment. So kindly install Anaconda from the anaconda.org and Visual Studio Code, and then open the Anaconda terminal and run these commands. After once you get successfully, then you have to write simple code. Then download the code, this code. Then download the code from the Google Classroom. Go to the Google Classroom. Go to the classwork. There is a link here, classwork. Then click on the PyTorch course and download this PyTorch Ultimate Material Deep Learning with Python Fundamentals of Deep Learning. Download these 3 codes and unzip it. So I'm writing the steps. After these steps, unzip code folder and add in VS Code. So now in my machine, you can see now it's just like a scratch. So if I write here Anaconda, still it is showing. So if I open it, I need to uninstall it also. Wait. Now here, I will try to uninstall this version also. Here somewhere you can see if any copy is there. What we'll do from the scratch. So it is not showing here. Anyhow, so now I already downloaded the software in my download folder. So I will install this Anaconda. It is going to install in the username of the system, and the folder name is Anaconda 3. So there is another directory which is conflicting. I will delete that. under C users, or we can rename it. There is a directory here already, Anaconda 3. So we can delete it or rename it. I am giving it as old, and now we'll install this. So I'm going with the default options. So, what are the steps are there? If we see, we have 3 categories to run the deep learning code. Category 1, we need to install these 2 softwares. In category 2, we need to run these steps. In this category B, ये हो गया आपका A and B. आपके हो गया B, ये all steps. Then, and in the last step, in category C, go to the Google Classroom, download the code and unzip the folder and add in VS Code. And then we'll start working. Then we will start working. So if any participant has any doubt, question, query, they can either unmute or put the query in the chat box. So again, I'm demonstrating you installing Anaconda again. Then I'm going to install VS Code. Inside the VS Code, you need to install 2 packages from the extensions. I'm writing the instructions here in VS Code. Go to the extensions and install 2 packages. One is PyLens and another is Python. First install the Python, then install the PyLens. So automatically it will recognize the Python and it will be a support function for the Python. So kindly, those who are sit at NTA-TR, kindly confirm me. Have you done category A? Hello. आप कौन से लिंक पे कर रहे हो? नहीं, वो लिखा है 1 तारीख के लिए, 1 मार्च के लिए. So how many among you have completed category A? आपका हो गया एनाकोंडा और विजुअल स्टूडियो. आप कैटेगरी बी में चल रहे हो, रन करो बस ये फटाफट से, ये वाला. So here you can see when we are installing, it is installing the other machine learning, data science related Python essential automatically, those packages. So I am pasting these instructions in the chat box also. So now all are requested to kindly install Anaconda. If it's there, you can ignore this step. Then install the Visual Studio Code. Then download the code from the Google Classroom. Now, what are the steps to install PyTorch for deep learning? So first in VS Code extensions, install Python and Pylens. Then open the Anaconda terminal and run these 7 commands. So here I will show you the same thing. Those who have joined today, kindly check the email, or I will share the Google Classroom link just now. So on the chat box, I'm sharing. This is the Google Classroom code TZM5K5T. So now I'm repeating what you need to do. First, you need to install the Anaconda from the anaconda.org. You need to install the Visual Studio Code. Then download the code from the Google Classroom. Go to the Google Classroom. Then click on the classwork. There is a mention a PyTorch course, and other codes are also there. Then you download these 3 courses: PyTorch, Ultimate Material, Deep Learning with Python, Fundamentals of Deep Learning. After downloading these software, you need to, before running these, you need to set up the environment. So I will demonstrate you also. So now I have installed the Anaconda. Now I am going to start with the Anaconda. So let me explore this Anaconda. It's giving me 2 Anaconda shell and Anaconda PowerShell. आपने कौन सा use किया? You can use either Anaconda prompt or this. Then you can see what are the environments are available. To see the environment, we have the command conda. I will increase the font size. Then you can run the command conda info minus envs. It will show if there are any environment is there or not. And if you write here code, if Visual Studio Code will be in your system, it will open the Visual Studio Code. Otherwise, it will give this kind of error. So now, before exploring PowerShell, let me run this Anaconda prompt only. If you have any previous version, kindly don't install two versions, so they may conflict. So now I am opening Anaconda prompt. One more thing, very important. Whenever you are opening, you have to open as an administrator, not as a normal user. This is very important. Run as administrator. Run as administrator. Then run as administrator. And again, I will increase the font size now. So at least you can note down, if you're not working, at least you can note down what I'm going to do. Conda info minus environments. So you can see when we are running this command, it is showing no environment is available. So we'll create the environment. So simple, you copy this command and paste it here. Conda create minus n means name. You can give any name. So in my case, I have given the PyTorch and Python is equal to 3.10, and it's going to install all these necessary packages. So this is a one-time exercise. Once you will be able to run successfully, then it will be very easy for all of you to run the deep learning codes. Then again, you can see this command just to show you what are the, or you can run in this way. Now it will show there are base environment is there and PyTorch. And PyTorch is available under CSE Anaconda 3 environments PyTorch. So now we will activate this PyTorch. So how to activate it and how to verify whether it is activated or not. So you can see right now, this is very important. It is what is written here, base. It will get replaced by the environment name. So when you activate PyTorch, now you can see you are in the right path. You are in the right path. Just you note down in the pen with pen, and then you can practice later on. Try to understand. Try to note down. Try to understand. Because now each and everything is available in our Google Classroom. We need not to type anything, just copy paste, but understanding is very important. Up to here, clear? Now, what is the next step? All of you, then if you have GPU version, go to conda.org, pytorch.org, and give them you are working with the PyTorch, and automatically this command will be there. So let me show you again here. If you go to pytorch.org website, that is there, install PyTorch. So there you have to mention which PyTorch version you want to install, the beta version or stable version. What is your operating system? Whether it's Mac, so command will vary. Whether it's Linux, you will see this command will vary according to the environment. Now in my case, it is a Windows, and I am going to use the package Conda. Language is Python. If you have compute platform, a deep learning with the library, CUDA library, so you can see it will vary. So just simple copy and paste it, and simple copy paste. In my case, this was the environment. I was having CPU, computing platform, language is Python, package I am using Conda, and stable version and operating system Windows. So you can do from here also. It is a one and same thing. There is no difference. You can copy, and if you paste it here, it is nothing but the same thing. Then after that, you need to install interactive Python kernel. Then you will click here. So it's a one-time job. So it has installed all the necessary packages required to run the PyTorch. I'm closing extra windows, and later on I will show you the resources and projects which are available. Like whatever the problems you are working, you can find ample resources available, just like in kaggle.com. And this is the official website, code.visualstudio.com. So now it has done the installation. Now we'll proceed further. So simple. Next is about the step number 4, conda install. Conda install interactive Python kernel. Then say yes. It will install the interactive Python kernel. Then perform the step number 5, conda install minus C means channel, anaconda channel, and we are going to install the Seaborn for graphs and visualization purpose. Any doubt? Then we will install this Seaborn. Then we will proceed for to install the machine learning algorithms scikit-learn library. So Seaborn is installing other like matplotlib, parsing the other libraries which are required. So it is installing inside this environment. So after the class, I will put this notepad instructions also on the Google Classroom. Then install the scikit-learn. Then last package we need to install conda install minus channel conda forge and detect object. Detecto is a detect objects. Okay? You can ignore otherwise, no issue, not important. So now it's learning it is installing. Now last step is what the conda install minus channel conda forge conda hyphen forge and detect O. Detect O means detect objects. Detect objects algorithms are there. So after this, we need to install the Visual Studio Code, or earlier, no issue. So that is in our download folders. Now I'm going to set up the Visual Studio Code. Admin का तो check कर दूंगा. Then Visual Studio Code, the desktop icon. It is going to install under the destination folder. Then we'll finish it. Now, as per the instruction, now we'll run the code command. In this terminal, we'll write the code. We need to reset it because it has not recognized, because it was already open there. So again, we'll open this terminal. Anaconda prompt. Run as administrator. So first we need to go to this Conda, activate PyTorch. So already we have installed those packages. We need not to do again and again. Then we write the code. Now it has recognized Visual Studio Code is there. It has opened the code. So we have covered here up to now. Here we can see what we have covered so far. We have installed the Anaconda. We have installed the Visual Studio Code. We have performed these 7 steps. We have done this code. Now, if there is any troubleshoot, we'll see now. And then we need to install then in third step in VS Code, run this code, and in VS Code extension add Python and PyLens. So PyLens will give the interactive features. So here, open the Anaconda terminal in administrator mode. That is important. Then run the command code. Then go to the VS Code and add the extensions. So now here, this is the icon for the extensions. This is the icon for the extension. Click here and write here Python and install this Python now. Click here. So it's already installed, I think. That's why it's showing install. Then we'll type the second one, PyLens. PyLens. So if we click here, that is already installed. So similarly, when we are interacting with the real-time cloud, AWS cloud, so many extensions are available here. So you can have a number of extensions are available, and you can do the programming with let's say I'm opening here new text file. So here under this new text file, you can select this language. You can do programming in C, C++, C hash, Django, Docker, JIT, and many latex, Python, shell scripting, XML, XSL, all these in this editor. Very powerful editor. Once you start working, you will enjoy it. So now, after this, I'm closing everything. Close folder. Then now file and click here on open folder. Open folder. So I hope you all of you have downloaded the code. Then open folder. In my case, under deep learning in February under code, this is my folder. This is my folder and all the code is available. Now I've selected this and now we got the entire code. So now LSTM is in our hand, autoencoders in our hand, GAN is in our hand, that we are going to learn in this week. Transformers are with us, OpenAI Chat GPT, transforming convolutional neural network, object detection, YOLO 7, YOLO 8 is with us, CNN model for object detection, audio classification, image classification, all this code is working. This is the part of my Udemy coursework. So now you can click on this 020 TensorFlow to check whether it is working properly or not. Then above the code, there is a written run cell. So once you run this cell, here, there is an icon here, run cell, run cell, run cell. Or if you want to run entire, that is also option is available. So we'll run this by one and see whether it's working or not. So on the right side, you can see it is giving error pillow version, DLL load pillow error. And also you have to verify whether you are in an environment or not. So this is also important, which Python you are using. So we are going to use Anaconda 3 environment PyTorch Python 3.exe. So this you need to select from here and select your environments PyTorch Python.exe, because we are in which environment? PyTorch, and our Python is where is our Python? That is again in the PyTorch. All the packages are under which environment? PyTorch. So we have to select like in this way and then try to run it again. So again it is showing this error. So if this error is there, then we will troubleshoot by running this command conda uninstall pillow, because this library is giving error and it is showing pillow library. So where we can run? So again we can run in the conda environment here. Conda uninstall pillow minus force remove. So pillow is a image processing library, and then we can install it using the pip install pillow. So same error was there. So I'm going to remove pillow on the Anaconda terminal, and now I'm going to install it, because again we required in various application install pillow. So now it has installed pillow, and detector requires OpenCV Python, which is not installed. So if we require, we can install either using conda package or pip. We can write here install OpenCV Python. So it is going to install OpenCV Computer Vision Library 4.7. So there may be minor mistakes could be there, troubleshooting. So in this way you can perform these. So I will copy this also for troubleshooting purpose only. And then start running on the. Now everything seems to be smooth. Again, we can run our code. So on the right side was built on another pillow version 9.0. Still some issues there. So I think we can restart it again. PyTorch. So I'm going to restart this terminal. I'm closing this. So I'm exiting it. And again, I'm writing here code. And now I'm selecting tensors.py. So we are selecting this, running this cell. So it's connecting to PyTorch. If you see on the right side window, it's trying to connect. We have to verify whether it's within the environment or not, because we are working inside the PyTorch. So here we have to update the Jupyter with this thing. So we can click here. These are the minor tidbits with the PyTorch, or also we can select the environment first. Environment. Now, when I run it again after changing the environment, no error came. So we have selected here, and now it's running successfully. Now we'll try to run the other cell. We are going to create the tensor. Now we are going to do some addition, multiplication. We are going to run the gradient. That in other lecture we'll see what is gradient, what are tensors, what is the working of this. Now this code is running proper in full-fledged mode. So again, we can run this function, and we are able to plot this. Then we can run the other function. And so once you reach to this, that means now there will be no issue for all of you. There will be no issue for all of you to run the deep learning code using PyTorch. So now we got the calculate the gradient in this direction, and now so we have to run carefully. And now we got in this way. So now we want to do some modeling introduction. So we want to implement linear regression. So from scratch, so we can run these code. So now it is going to connect it with the, now it is importing NumPy, Pandas, Torch. So if you get any error or an issue, so be ensure that you are within the environment. And after that, you can run this data, which is the cars data. And then you can visualize using the scatter plot. Then you can run the, then you can convert the data to a tensor. Then you can check it, the weight and bias, which are the more crucial part of the neural networks. Then you can do the prediction. Then you can perform the scatter plot. Then using the sklearn model, you can import the linear regression and perform the run this cell. So now it is showing no module torch viz. So we need to install the torch viz also. So how to install? So we can simple write here on the install torch viz. Whatever packages are missing, we can install like this in this way. torch this, and then we can run it again. Now we are able to call this. So we need to restart because just now we have created this, install this, and then in this way we can proceed further. So I am now you want to do some classification. So classification could be binary class or multi-class classification. So you can run this code. So it is importing the torch, the data sets. It's installing the iris data set. Then we can import the data set. We can see the we can divide into training and testing. We can convert this cell, and we can run before, because we are defining our own class. Then we are running this, and then we can do the classification. We can perform some parameters, the model, and then we can do the plotting. Before plotting, we need to train it. Then we can show the losses over the model. We can see the accuracy. Now before that, we need to run this cell, and we can see the accuracy is 96.66. We can have the name base classifier and many more. Similarly, when we want to do CNN image classification, we can do the binary classification. This is the data is given to us. So we can again run this code, and then we can use a transform. We can use the transforms. Then we can visualize. So we can run cell by cell. So now when we are running this, it has no object like, so we can run it, compose. Then we can visualize the image. Now before that, we have to check the path. So we need to make little modifications here. So now next is what, like here we have these images. You can see here we have different images are there, and we want to classify. We have like here multiple images, and we want to classify. And now to run this CNN object detection, we have the labels. We have in this way they have given the XML format and the train labels. So we can run this object detection. So here we are importing detector. We are importing the two packages, core and utils. Then we are running this is the path for the images. Then we are performing the dataset and data loader. Now, first we need to run custom transforms. Then we can run the trained labels. Then we can run the model. We can initialize the model and then perform the training. Then we can show the predictions above confidence. Now it is fitting the model. So you have to run it one by one with a little patience, or you can run entire code by running the click on here on this button or run on this button. Similarly, when you want to implement GAN, so you are again calling these libraries in GAN. Then you are now it's connecting and importing all these libraries: matplotlib, math, numpy, random. Then we are going to run the cell. Then we are creating the discriminator. In GAN, we will learn the two concepts, generator and discriminator. We can initialize the parameters, learning rate, a number of epochs, the loss functions. Then after that, we are checking the result. And we are getting the result. So in this way, CNN style transfer, object detection, LSTM transfer learning, autoencoders, and OpenAI chat GPT examples, each and everything you can run easily. So now you have the tools, you have the folder. So now we'll discuss how to perform these coding. What is the flow? What is the logic? So in this way, you can run all these cells. Everything is working fine. And now I'm closing these code. We will perform one simple coding from scratch so that we'll understand the flow and the logic. So here I'm creating new file. So here it's asking what type of file you want, Python or Jupyter. So let's say I'm typing Python. So let me increase the font size. Okay, I'm sharing the troubleshooting code. And regarding attendance, it is auto recorded by the Google Sheet, Google Meet. So this is the code. So in case if you stuck with any code, so and even if it asks for OpenCV, then only run this. From the terminal, conda uninstall pillow, force remove, pip install pillow, and this one. So just this effort you have to do, and each and the entire code is now in your pocket. Again, which you will learn in the coming days. So now I'm going to explain the flow of the code. So I will take 2 minutes break. After 2 minutes, we'll start the